A book of unmatched significance, a ray of divine insight that has led millions of people, can be found in the great reaches of human history and spiritual exploration. The Quran throughout the ages. As we begin our exploration of the Quran, we enter a story that transcends time and space because it weaves together historical prophecies and deep spiritual insights, allowing us to see this holy text in a way never before possible from the reverberating halls of ancient Mecca. This sacred text is more than just a religious text. It is a journey into the heart of faith and a testament to the ongoing dialogue between humanity and the divine. Join us as we reveal the full narrative of the Quran in a way you have never seen before, a voyage of discovery, despite the busy streets of the modern world. The Quran continues to be a timeless source of guidance, a mirror reflecting the timeless questions and ambitions of the human soul. It was in the solitude of the Hira cave that Muhammad, a man renowned for his integrity and contemplation, first encountered the divine revelation that would crystallize into the Quran. The air in the cave was heavy with anticipation as the angel Gabriel descended, bringing with him words that would resonate through the ages read, "In the name of your Lord who created these words." Enlightenment and unparalleled spiritual depth in the arid moonlit landscapes of 7th century Mecca marked the beginning of a story that would forever change the course of human spiritual history. The revelations Muhammad received began to address the myriad complexities of life, from the oneness of God to the complexities of human relationships. Each verse that was revealed offered guidance, challenged established norms, and laid the foundation for a new social and moral order. The Meccan society of the time was marked by tribal divisions, moral relativism, and spiritual voids. This marked the beginning of a 23-year journey of revelation, a profound dialogue between the divine and mankind. The revelations continued in Medina, where the Muslim community found refuge. Here the verses took on a more communal and legislative tone, addressing the practical aspects of creating a society based on divine principles. Topics like governance, social justice, and interfaith relations were eloquently covered, providing timeless guidance. The early revelations sought to heal these fractures by calling for unity in the worship of one God, advocating for justice, and uplifting the downtrodden. This message was radical in its simplicity and depth, and it attracted followers. The story of the Quran's revelation is not merely a historical account, it is a story of transformation. Through its verses, the Quran offered a new perspective on the world, a revelation that still guides millions of people today. The journey of the Quran from a series of divine revelations to a single cohesive text is a story of meticulous preservation and unwavering dedication. Following the Prophet Muhammad's death, the need to compile the Quran into a tangible form became a mission of utmost importance, a mission to preserve God's words for future generations. During Muhammad's lifetime, his followers memorized the revelations he received and wrote them down on materials like parchment, palm leaves, and even animal bones. The act of conserving the Quran was not just a matter of keeping records. Rather, it was a significant demonstration of the companions' dedication to the message that had been entrusted to them upon the Prophet's passing. The first Caliph Abu Bakr recognized the need to gather these disparate revelations into a single manuscript, so he gave the task to Zayd ibn Thabit, a companion renowned for his diligence and familiarity with the Quran. Zayd and other companions who had committed the Quran to memory took on the difficult task of gathering and confirming each verse to make sure the final text accurately reflected the teachings of the Prophet. Although this initial collection was a significant accomplishment, the Quran's preservation journey was just getting started as Islam expanded outside of the Arabian Peninsula under the third Caliph Uthman. Idan realized that a standardized text was necessary to avoid recitation variations, so he appointed a committee to create multiple copies of the Quran, which were subsequently distributed throughout the Islamic world. This act of standardization was essential to maintaining the authenticity and consistency of the Quran. The Quran's preservation also includes its oral tradition, or tajweed. This careful recitation technique guarantees that every sound, inflection, and pause in the Quran is expressed exactly as it was revealed. It is a custom that has been handed down through the ages and is a living representation of the Quran's ongoing preservation. The Quran in its final form is not only a collection of divine revelations, but also a masterpiece of literary art in its structure and style. The story of the compilation and preservation of the Quran is not only a testament to historical accuracy, but also to the deep reverence and love that Muslims hold for the Quran. It serves as a symbol of their collective effort to maintain the purity of God's final message to humanity, a message that is just as relevant today as it was more than 14 centuries ago, are as distinct and profound as the messages they convey, providing readers with a multi-layered experience. The 114 chapters that make up the Quran are known as surahs, and each one varies in length and thematic focus. The surahs are not arranged chronologically, but rather in a way that maximizes the text's spiritual and emotional impact. This arrangement takes listeners and readers on a rhythmic journey that alternates between themes of creation's wonders, guidance warnings, and mercy. The opening line of each surah, Bismillah, in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, establishes a tone of humility and reverence. Each surah is a world unto itself, yet inextricably linked to the others. The surahs begin with the first chapter. Al-Lidya is a 7-verse prayer that summarizes the main points of the Quran, whereas the longer chapters go into great detail and provide legal directives. The Quran's style is unmatched in its beauty and eloquence. It uses a rich linguistic tapestry that is rhythmic and occasionally rhymes. Sag or prose is captivating. The poem is full with rich imagery for both the reader and the listener. People of many ages and locations can relate to and understand its lessons thanks to parables and allegories. The kin style's use of repetition is among its most striking features. Specific lines and ideas are revisited throughout the poem, each time adding a fresh level of significance and viewpoint. This aesthetic, in addition to being a literary device, choice helps to firmly instill the core ideas of the Quran in the reader's consciousness. The Quran's linguistic elegance is regarded as unique, challenging the best linguists and poets of the day. In conclusion, the structure and style of the Quran are as essential to its message as the content itself. They elevate the book. This challenge, known as the Az-Alaran, declares the divine provenance of the text and invites skeptics to produce a work of comparable eloquence and depth. At the core of the Quran is a rich tapestry of themes, each interwoven with the thread of divine wisdom. These themes, which range from the cosmic to the very core of human existence, offer insights and guidance that have shaped the lives of believers for centuries. One of the most prominent themes is the oneness of God Ta'ala, which emphasizes that God is unique, incomparable, and singular. This has transformed the Quran from a mere religious text into an enduring spiritual and literary masterpiece that continues to inspire and guide millions of people worldwide. This core idea serves as the cornerstone of Islamic ideology, influencing Muslims' worldview and spiritual outlook. Moral and ethical advice is the foundation of the Quran. The text discusses a variety of moral conundrums and ethical concerns, offering a guide for leading a moral life and addressing questions of justice. Encouragement of believers to build a community that embodies these ideals via equity, kindness, and compassion. The Quran also emphasizes the value of education and knowledge, recognizing the significance of intelligence in comprehending faith and promoting inquiry, discovery, and the search for truth. In Islamic history, this encouragement has sparked a rich heritage of learning and scientific investigation. The Day of Judgment is another recurrent subject. This topic serves as a reminder of the fleeting nature of this world and the significance of leading a life in accordance with divine principles. The Kin regularly reminds its readers of this inevitable day, when every individual will be held accountable for their conduct. The Quran also includes historical lessons and stories of past prophets and people that impart timeless knowledge. These tales demonstrate the enduring power of faith and the repercussions of disobeying God's instructions. Beyond merely doctrinal teachings, the Quran's themes explore the psychological and spiritual facets of human existence. The scripture talks about the soul's struggles, the search for meaning, and the path to spiritual fulfillment. In other words, the themes and teachings of the Quran offer a comprehensive guide for life, comfort, and motivation, calling believers to live a life of purpose, introspection, and conformity with the will of God is both challenging and consoling. The teachings and values of the Quran permeate every part of life, providing Muslims with direction, comfort, and guidance for living in accordance with the will of God. It is much more than just a sacred text to be cherished. It plays a dynamic and practical role in Muslims' everyday lives. The Quran is a constant companion, a source of knowledge to go to when confused, and a lighthouse when things are dark. Its verses are read throughout daily prayers as a reminder of the proper course to follow, bringing one's thoughts and deeds into line with Islamic principles. Muslims' daily ethical and moral decisions are influenced by the Quran, which also directs their interactions with others toward morally upright, just, and caring behavior. Its principles directly inspire the emphasis on altruism, compassion, and care for the community's welfare. Muslim social and familial lives are significantly shaped by their clan as well. In the area of personal development, it offers advice on topics like marriage, parenting, and social behavior, promoting partnerships based on respect, love, and understanding. The verses of the Quran encourage believers to look within themselves in order to purify their hearts and minds and to cultivate a close relationship with God for Muslims. The Quran serves as a source of spiritual nourishment and growth because of its emphasis on self-reflection, accountability, and striving for personal betterment. The lessons of the Quran are applied in a variety of situations, from the complexities of modern life to the quiet moments of introspective devotion. It is not only a book to be read, rather it is a living, breathing guidance. The Quran provides a path to a life that is both morally upright and spiritually fulfilling, one that strikes a balance between the demands of the material world and the call of the spiritual realm. Its timeless wisdom and the universality of its message are demonstrated by its relevance in daily life. Despite having a strong Islamic foundation, the Quran forges close ties with other faiths. Its lessons provide a deep conversation with the larger humanity's religious and spiritual legacy that recognizes our shared origins and truths. Bridging the gap between different faiths and highlighting the continuity of divine guidance throughout human history, the Quran's recognition and reverence for earlier prophets, many of whom are central figures in Judaism and Christianity, such as Abraham, Moses, and Jesus, are hailed as God's messengers. The scripture frequently calls for respectful engagement and dialogue with people of the book, a term used specifically to refer to Jews and Christians. By focusing on shared moral and ethical principles rather than differences, this courteous acknowledgement opens the door for interfaith understanding. The Ken approach to other faiths recognizes the diversity of human thought and the various routes people have taken in their search for a deeper understanding of the divine, and it goes beyond simple tolerance to include active participation and the pursuit of common ground. Muslims are encouraged by this inclusive viewpoint to value and gain knowledge from the diversity of human religious experience. In examining the Quran's relationship with other religions, one discovers a message of unity and diversity, a recognition that different paths can lead to the same truth. This understanding fosters a global sense of spiritual kinship, encouraging believers of all faiths to look beyond outward differences and to celebrate the shared values and common human quest for the divine in a world frequently divided by religious differences. The Quran's openness to interfaith dialogue is a call for mutual understanding, peace, and cooperation among various religious communities. The Ken teachings provide a vision of a united humanity, joined together by the pursuit of higher spiritual values and united in diversity. They stand as a witness to the possibilities of harmony and mutual respect. Despite being revered by millions, the Quran has faced challenges and criticism over the centuries from both the Muslim community and outside observers. Addressing these criticisms is essential to promoting a deeper understanding of the Quran and its place in the modern world. One of the main challenges facing the Quran is interpreting its verses, as it was revealed more than 1,400 years ago. Applying its teachings to the contemporary context can be complex, and debates over interpretations frequently arise, especially regarding verses related to social issues, law, and ethics. These discussions are essential to the Quran's continued relevance, ensuring that its guidance remains applicable and meaningful in a world that is changing quickly. Another criticism frequently directed at the Quran concerns its perceived position on issues like gender equality, violence, and religious freedom. Identify his particular verses that appear to go against contemporary values when read out of context or in isolation. Addressing these issues calls for a sophisticated comprehension of the historical background of the present, the motivations behind specific revelations, and the tenets of Quranic exegesis. Another issue facing the Quran is language difficulties, which can cause misunderstandings or misinterpretations of its teachings, because a text originally revealed in ancient Arabic translations may not always reflect the entire depth and nuance of the original language. Despite these obstacles, the Quran continues to inspire rigorous scholarly study, debate, and reflection. It invites both believers and non-believers to engage with its teachings critically and thoughtfully. This dynamic engagement with the Quran is a testament to its enduring impact and its ability to spark deep intellectual and spiritual inquiry in facing these critiques and challenges. Scholars' efforts to provide contextually rich and accurate translations are therefore crucial in making the Quran accessible to a wider audience. In the constantly changing context of the modern world, the Quran is revealed not as a static text, but as a living, breathing revelation that is constantly understood and reinterpreted in light of fresh insights and growing human knowledge. The Quran is still a source of inspiration, direction, and deep insight. Its impact goes well beyond religious rites and touches on issues of art, law, social justice, and international debate. Unquestionably, the Quran has had a profound influence on art and culture. Its verses have served as an inspiration to generations of poets, artists, and musicians, resulting in the construction of breathtaking architectural marvels and heartfelt musical renditions. These creative creations are more than just ornaments. They are representations of the kin's spiritual depth and aesthetic grandeur in the fields of ethics and law. The Quran's teachings continue to influence the moral frameworks and legal systems of many nations with a majority of Muslims. The Quran's emphasis on justice, equity, and compassion offers a fundamental framework for governing and resolving modern problems. Additionally, the Quran is essential to Islamic social justice movements, and beyond its lessons on equality, human dignity, and the defense of the downtrodden have emerged as focal topics for those attempting to correct social injustices and promote the rights of the underprivileged on a worldwide scale. In a world rife with conflict, miscommunication, and division, the Quran's message of peace and cooperation is more relevant than ever. The Quran presents a picture of harmony, respect, and cooperation. In tackling the most important issues facing the globe, its appeal for communication and understanding amongst all cultures and religions is a beacon of hope. Through social media, applications, and online platforms, the Quran's reach has expanded in the digital age. The teachings of the Quran are available to a rising number of people who are not limited by geography or culture. This digital revolution has opened new avenues for learning, discussion, and dissemination of Quranic knowledge. In essence, the Quran in the modern world is a bridge between the past and the present, between tradition and innovation. It continues to offer guidance and insight for the challenges of contemporary life, inspiring individuals and communities to seek a harmonious balance between spiritual values and the demands of a rapidly changing world. As we reach the end of our journey through the profound narrative of the Quran, it is clear that this ancient text is not merely a relic of the past, but a living, breathing guide for humanity. Its pages filled with wisdom continue to resonate in the hearts and minds of millions, offering light and guidance in an ever-changing world. The Quran, with its timeless teachings, stands as a testament to the enduring quest for understanding, compassion, and connection with the divine. It calls upon us to reflect, to question, and to seek pushing the boundaries of our spiritual and intellectual horizons in the grand tapestry of human history and belief. As we finish this chapter, the Quran has a special place in our hearts, calling us to go into its depths and find its relevance and richness for ourselves. Let's continue the spirit of introspection and inquiry that the Quran encourages so that it can light our way and improve our lives.